Welcome to Blame the Bible study where we actually read all the horrible parts of Christianity that they don't like to talk about in church. Today we're going to be in the book of Genesis, chapter 11, and we're going to hear the story of the Tower of Babel. You're probably thinking, wait, I've heard this story lots of times. They love to talk about it in church. That may be true, but what they don't like to talk about is how little sense this story actually makes. Let's look at it closely together. The Tower of Babel, Genesis 11. Now, the whole world had one language and a common speech. Let, let's stop right there. Now, just to be clear, in reality, all the archaeological and anthropological evidence we have gathered leads us to believe that that is absolutely not true. There has never been a time in human history when the whole world had one common language. All right, moving on. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. See how advanced they are? They are getting really full of themselves, making these bricks. How dare they? Moving on. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. Now, okay, the Lord God, according to Christianity, is supposed to be omnipresent, meaning he is everywhere at all times. So, how exactly is he coming down to see the city? Like he couldn't already see it from above, or like he already didn't exist everywhere at all times throughout the entire universe? He had to come down from the heavens to see. This is very inconsistent. It's almost like the modern Christian view of God has evolved over time and no longer is in sync with what people in the Old Testament here thought of as God. They obviously used to think that God lived up in the clouds and had to come down to see this city when now Christians believe God's everywhere at all times. So, which is it? Did God change, or did humans change their minds over the course of thousands of years? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Moving on. The Lord said, "If, as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them." Well, that sounds good, don't it? Mm-mm. "Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." Who is this us? Why is God referring to himself as multiple people? Could it be that there's more than one God? Anyway, so the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel. They were babbling because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. This sounds like a really cute Bronze Age myth, a fairy tale that somebody just made up because their little children asked them, "Hey, how come everyone in the world speaks different languages, Papa?" And Papa said, because he didn't want to say, "I don't know, child." He had to save face and he said, "You know what? It's because they were building a city and the tower was just too tall. It was reaching to the heavens. So the Lord said, we going to confuse them." Yep, that makes perfect sense. Y'all, this is not a history book. Okay, this don't make any sense. Let's not propagate ignorance by spreading these kind of ideas as if they were actual, true historical facts. And not to mention that, but why in the world is the Lord so scared that humans are gonna, get too high and mighty and too powerful? If they're working together, they're gonna be able to accomplish anything. If he was scared back then in Genesis chapter 11, how scared is he now? How come he's not coming down from heaven now and doing something else to confuse us? Look at the cities we built. Look at the technological advancements we've made now. Oh no, but them laying the bricks, that was too much. The worldwide internet, he's totally fine with that, not threatened at all. None of this makes any sense, y'all. But hey, don't blame me, it's in the Bible.